There's the activity on one side right there. They're across the way on their own property. Doing some fishing or something. That's all cool. That's neighbors. I don't know them. They don't even know I'm here. Let's make sure they don't either. This looks like a good place for a cup of coffee. A little bit of that birch bark. Sure can smell it too. Got a distinctive smell to it. Just enough to get some coals going. Just drink hot coffee on this pretty warm day, actually. Yeah, the neighbors that were over there, they left. I guess they got their fill of fishing or whatever. Now the dogs, when I first came out here, and probably that first clip you're gonna see, there's dogs barking. They were this direction, the neighbors were that direction, over there. Dogs were that way. Haven't heard or seen anything since then about the dogs. But they sounded pretty dang close. We're still gonna walk down that way and check it out, but I'm sitting here right now drinking this cup of coffee. So, practicing a little social distancing. Four-wheeler on up there too. But I suspect somebody's driving a four-wheeler on the other side of that property that's over there, because I'm getting kind of close to that. Probably, I don't know, a couple hundred yards away maybe from it, from the fence line there. So, that's what I suspect. Won't hesitate to shoot a dog though if they come over this way. Will not hesitate. If he's aggressive. If he just wants a petting or whatever, that's no big deal. But if he gets aggressive, of course, you know, I'll shoot at him first, you know, or shoot the ground, try to scare him, and if that doesn't work, and he gets more aggressive, then, yeah, I mean, don't worry, animal lovers, I'll give him a warning shot. I love animals too, don't get me wrong, but I'm not about to dog or get attacked by a dog, especially when I have a rifle, you know. So, I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately. A lot of you all's videos and stuff too. You know, I don't always comment, but I'll always give you a like. But I do watch, you know. I do watch a lot of late at night watching, you know. But I've been watching and listening to a lot of death metal, you know, survivor metal, man. I'm a metalhead, you know. That's my thing. That's my music. Good thrash and death metal. But man, I've been listening to a lot of actual death metal, like a little more obscure bands, not so much the bigger, well-known bands, but a lot of obscure bands. And some of them I've never even heard of. And man, there's a lot of killer bands out there. Some not so much. But man, there's several bands that are like, man, those guys are badass, you know. And I've even discovered a couple of bands that are around in the early 90s when death metal was making its heyday come back, you know, or its you know, debut basically, on record labels and stuff. And it's like some of these bands, it's like either I've seen the name or I've never heard of them, you know, a few of them. And man, there's some killer ones. It's like, man, killer bands. There's a lot of good death metal out there. If you like death metal, just go randomly look, man, and find some stuff you like, because there's a shit ton. Well, how are a lot of you all hanging in there with the lockdowns? Because I know everybody's in various states and things like that, and different parts of the world as well. You know, how are y'all holding up on that? You know, being locked down, you still able to get out and do some things. You know, they're imposing more restrictions on my state. Of course, I'm still an essential worker. And our job don't give a fuck, to be honest. You know, I love working with the people that I work with the company. The way some of their policies are, you can tell they just don't give a fuck. And they just don't care. You know, they just worry about making their bottom line. You know, they don't need to make that almighty dollar. However, they did implement, starting, I guess, now, that anybody who shows up for their shift, you know, you're going to take our temperatures. So I told them I want mine rectally. You know, joking, you know, because, you know, it's the only way to get the accurate temperature, you know. So I told them, I said, I want my temperature taken rectally. And I want the overall general manager to do it. But no, they're going to make everybody take their temperature, and if they're, or, you know, they've got a series of questions they're going to ask you. If you've been around anybody with COVID-19, anybody in your household, anything like that, then you get to go home without pay, mind you. So, two things are going to happen. One, people are going to go home because they've been around somebody maybe. There's only 12 cases in this county right now. In this county, so, and my town happens to have one of the bigger hospitals in it. So I don't know where these people are, because there's a few towns in this county, pretty good sized towns. So I'm not exactly sure where they're located. I guarantee a lot of them are in my town, I'm sure. And so two things are going to happen. People are going to end up showing up to work. They're going to have a temperature. They're going to be sick. Get sent home. Two, other people are going to, because, you know, people like to call in. They don't like to work, you know. So who does, you know? But I mean, you got to. But the thing is that they're going to call in, or they're going to answer one of the questions. Have you been around somebody? Yeah, I have. My cousin's got it or something like that. My cousin's been real sick or whatever. He was around last weekend or something. They're going to send you home without pay just so they can go home. So, yeah. Ridiculous. I need the money. So I got to work. But yeah, so we jumped from one case to 12 in probably about 2 weeks. 2 weeks period of time. Oklahoma also jumped from, what was it? 7, 8 cases or something like that to over 300. At last check was yesterday, 344 cases or something like that in Oklahoma in 2 weeks. Boom. Yep. So right now is about the freshest air I breathe. I don't even like going into town, and I live there, but I truly believe future and further restrictions are coming for our state and my town. I do believe that. I believe that's going to happen, and I think that my job may eventually shut down for a couple weeks or a month. I believe they'll probably have to. That's the thing, is they'll finally realize that they are going to have to. And they probably will not pay us, which they should. I think we can file unemployment. I hate to do it, but if I have to, I have to. I've got bills to pay. It's not like they're firing us. They're shutting down. You're temporarily laid off. So, hey, no fault of our own, no fault of theirs, but you have a job. They're going to pay, one way or another. So anyway. So where the noise is coming from is from over here. I don't hear anything right at the moment, but back behind those woods back there, where they're driving around that four-wheeler. As long as they stay over there. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this one. Everything looks good. We did hear some things this time, you know, a little more activity than normal, but everybody doing their own thing on their own property and stuff. So yeah, not worried too much about the people over there. They're actually very nice people. The people I worry about are the people that are over here, because there's been some incidences with them, with other neighbors and things like that. And if y'all been with me a while, you remember the broken moonshine jug of mine. Guarantee it was the youth that are over there. So that's why I come down here, partly one of many reasons. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and I hope you enjoyed it. I brought you along on actually some of it, some of the seriousness of it, just because I wanted to let you know, show you that, hey, we've got a little activity going on. But all is quiet now, and everything still looks good. So anyway, keep it heavy.